I was watching this video from Magnates Media about how to win at YouTube, and it's just this hour-long video basically telling me all the things I know about how to retain you, the viewer, to not click away from what you're watching right now. And I'm just going to completely disregard everything I've learned. You know how like you need to get to the point, show what's going to be interesting about the video, so it'll hook them in and they'll want to stay. But in reality, I'm recording over 13 months too late on a video that I recorded in 2022 at the end of a road trip when I've just come home from another road trip, my next yearly road trip, and I still haven't released my Kings Island video, which I totally meant to release before I went on that thing, but I wasn't motivated, and now I am. And what motivated me to start recording this video right now is how much I'm utterly disregarding, click-through rate and viewer retention, leaving a good thumbnail, all of that. Kind of disregarding it because, I mean, it seems from the people who actually do watch my complete spam, it's all about like, hey, I love hearing this freaking guy ramble and stuff and use curse words. And look, I'm going to start trying to remember to leave this advisory for those of you who are still here who shouldn't be here because you're afraid of the F word. I'm going to say the word fuck. So go ahead, leave. Thanks for coming. You leave a downvote, unsubscribe, do all the things you need to do to make yourself happy. But in reality, I'm just going to go ramble and look at this road, dude. This is when you should probably just repave the entire thing rather than trying to just glue together all of your mistakes. And I mean, I know very little about urban infrastructure, but I'm heckling and I'm high and you have to deal with my shit because today we have to fill about 55 and a half minutes over this very old Kings Island footage, which I've essentially forgot because it was like the last day of a trip last year. And oh god, I went to 18 parks just now in the northeast of New England, and Kings Island was not one of them. And it's gonna be hard not to talk about all of that and instead talk about Kings Island. But I'm gonna try, baby. I'm gonna fucking try. And that cart, you should not park or stall there or whatever. Make mistakes there. Move from their van. I know that the van from a year ago is definitely listening to me. In July 3rd, 2024. Instead of preparing for July 4th, which, by the way, is possibly the most stupid fucking day for you to visit an amusement park, like any amusement park, instead of celebrating for our nations, whatever, I'm recording this stupid video, mainly out of obligation. I mean, I want to entertain you guys, and it seems like you guys do get value out of me talking about fucking nothing, and occasionally talking about Kings Island. I mean, shit, I'm going to name this video... this video is allegedly about Kings Island because that was the title of my last 3 videos, and the context was like I revisit a park and I don't really know what to talk about because I explained everything I was seeing in the last park tour video from the last time I was here. In these 4 parks, Indiana Beach, Holiday World, Kentucky, Kingdom, and Kings Island, man, like I've already been to them and I really didn't know what to talk about, so I just called them allegedly, so that I would have the ability to go off on tangents and not bore myself or bore you, the viewer. I mean, I can't really tell whether I'm boring you or not, but I mean, some of you actually stick through to the end of these fucking videos, and I'm proud of you, I guess. And so I'm just going to name this one that same thing because the retention, not the retention, the click-through rates at least have been much higher. I've been getting more downvotes, but that's probably because it's serving to, this video to more curious, confused people who are looking for the next fucking vanilla-washed, fucking family-friendly coaster content where they just rank the top 15 thing that you've already seen twice in the last hour in your suggestions on your YouTube feed. What's the alternative? Well, 4 minutes in, I'm still walking slowly through a parking lot, checking out security in front of Invertigo. I mean, what else do you want from your YouTube channel? I mean, well, we're walking toward Kings Island. I mean, I will acknowledge that I do know what's up at Kings Island a little bit. I mean, not as much as you people who are very obsessed with this place. I mean, as someone who lives in Louisiana, I know about as much as I can from my 4 visits, 16, 18, 19, 20, no, 5 visits. I've been 5 times. And our roller coaster database and stuff. I mean, I'm really happy that this is a park staffed largely by enthusiasts, and it's like the operations are sick, and it's just generally a good time. It's like my 2nd or 3rd favorite theme park, depending on the day. It was before this trip I just went on, but my time at Hershey Park was so fucking phenomenal that I think Kings Island might have actually just dropped to 3rd place. But I mean, in terms of just general atmosphere, it's mandatory regardless of how you rank parks. Like if you even pretend to call yourself a roller coaster enthusiast and you don't give a solid 12 hours to Kings Island, you're fucking up. I do appreciate the chaperone policy because I'll be honest with you, I really do try to visit amusement parks in days where families are least likely to be there, because, you know, like, being alone in a park is way better than being around families. I mean, families, I'm glad they're there the other 364 days a year that I'm not there, and I hope they have a wonderful, majestic time. I just hope they decide to make other plans on the day that I'm there, and, you know. So this is the same view we saw in the beginning of my last Kings Island video, like the fourth or fifth video on my channel in 2022. To the left, there's a Starbucks. Like, I made the whole joke about, like, you know, I don't know whether I made a diarrhea joke or something about Starbucks and coffee giving you the shits, but get some coffee in Switzerland as you look at the pretty fountains. Yeah, that's right. The random ass fucking flags. Like, I don't even know. Like, Kings Island's not trying to represent being internet. I mean, I see the Eiffel Tower ripoff thing that they have there, but I mean, is this actually theming, or are they just throwing arbitrary flags saying, hey, we celebrate that the rest of the world exists? I'm not quite sure. I mean, it's a lovely entrance, and way more lovely than the entrance to my blighted, abandoned amusement park near my house called Six Flags New Orleans. I definitely want to visit that empty Auntie Anne's, so that's it. It ruined my entire day at Kings Island. How do you do that, you know? And so for receipts, this was on, let me see if I can read the June 5. June 5. I don't know how I saw an A and an 6. It's a 6, June 6. So that's June 6, 2023. So yes, officially 1 year and like 28 days after I actually was at this park, I'm finally narrating this footage. Mainly out of obligation because I can't like release my next 18 videos that I haven't even like copied off my GoPro yet. Hope this shit didn't get corrupted. The GoPro has given me scares a few times, like saying, oh, you have 11 more hours to record when it only had like 11 hours to begin with. So I'm not 100% sure I have all those videos for you guys, but if all went well, I have essential full walkthroughs through a lot of parks. See if I can remember them in order without looking them up. I visited Kennywood was 1, then Idlewild, Dutch Wonderland 2 and 3. I'm already fucking up. It's a lot of places, okay? I promise. And yeah, over there is 18 parks, and you'll eventually get there. I hope it doesn't take me like 5 years to release these 18 videos. So I guess I'll coat my channel with like less spam. Check out my Monster. I'm drinking that shit. Because I'm gonna have to get all these park through videos, but at least it's not the worst thing in the world because I'm not gonna pretend I do heavy editing on these videos. Because one of the things I learned from Magnates Media and the 38 videos that I watched before about this exact topic is that being genuine with your viewers tends to win them over or something. And me just straight up admitting that I have never properly edited a video in my entire life. All I do is I take these GoPro video snippets that I recorded a random time ago and merge them together and then just replace the audio in what's the program I'm looking at? What's it called? The fucking Wondershare Uni Converter 14. All I'm doing is basically maintaining my 4K while working on a computer that can't even play 4K videos in VLC without going at like a 2 frame rate. I mean, I'm the most professional YouTuber of all time, and for that I should win awards. Right there's Adventure Express, and I gotta tell you, like, out of all of the Aero Mine trains, this is solid, like, 4th best or something. I don't know. Hold on, let me see this. Hold on, let me like window this shit and then get all prepared. All right, so, oh god, all my windows are fucked up. Hold on, let me like fix my life. I don't know. My YouTube's all fucked up. Hey, at least my computer didn't like fucking crash when like the tab went to the other screen, so that's already a fucking plus. So I'm looking at Kings Island. Adventure Express is my 208 out of 455, which is the number of credits I have now, you know, allegedly. And that sounds kind of fucked, but it's actually pretty good because as far as Aero Mine trains are concerned, the only ones I have ranked over it are Roadrunner Express at Fiesta, Texas, and Thunderation at Silver Dollar City. That's the whole fucking list. It's great. I love all of the lift hills, and especially the one where you're already like, holy crap, this is such a long coaster and it's still going. We have another lift hill. Let's fucking go, and then it ends. Over there's Banshee, and once upon a time I was like saying this is knocking on the door of being my like favorite invert, but then I just started thinking about it and then wrote other things. I'm like, solid fifth best invert in the U.S. Like, yeah, I mean, like Montu is crushing it every day of the fucking week, and then I noticed some other stuff like where's that shit? Afterburn at Carowinds I like better, and Alpengeist at Busch Gardens Williamsburg I like better. I allegedly Nemesis is better. I wrote it when I was 14. One of the things that I've actually done with my coaster rankings ever since like the last time I talked to you guys is I decided everything that is not in the 2020s, with the exception of Disney, because I don't know when the next time I'll want to go to a Disney, is just not in my rankings anymore. So like I have like 1 credit in Malaysia and a few things in England, and they just don't exist anymore. I just decided to make them not exist anymore because I was really fed up with looking at a spreadsheet that was like 99% US and then like a few memories from 20 years ago in England. I'm like, it just looks like a corruption on my fucking ranking. So I decided to get rid of that. And this whole long ramble is why I decided to not count Nemesis. And that's exactly what I should be talking about as I'm like walking slowly to Racer at Kings Island. But look, you're the one still watching this video 11 minutes in, and you need to reevaluate your life choices if you think you're wasting your time. Some people were just like saying in the comments in my last like community post whatever thing that like this is great. They like hearing me ramble like a clown like during their like work commute or something. So like that actually makes me feel like a kind of happy that I'm not like intensely wasting my time, because like I figured it would be the exact inverse. I figured that a lot of people would get value out of muting my fucking abrasive voice and just watching the cozy walk through, you know, and enjoying their 4K happy times. But apparently there's some people who just like, you know, hearing my extremely clearly rehearsed dialogue that I do over videos. Like I'm just, you know, I think I have a vague idea of what we're doing next, and not because I remember how we record. I just remember just the order of things at Kings Island and how me right now in my own shoes would want to do something next. I mean, like I'm hanging out with, you know, Michael and Lacey, two of my closest friends, over a year ago. Michael decided to not come on this road trip because he's a pussy. He doesn't know how to do 12-day fucking road trips to 18 parks. But Lacey was there for like most of it, so you'll see the back of her head a bunch coming up. Sorry, Michael. There's like 2 videos in a row I called you a pussy. I apologize, my friend. But it's like fun to do that when I can get away with it, especially when I'm like all anonymous, like none of you even know what my name is. I've said it like 3 times, and you see my face in the mirror sometimes, but like I just don't care. I'm just here to just be semi-anonymously entertaining, with open air quotes, entertaining you guys. Let me drink some water. I'm not editing shit. I don't know how to edit. So if I need to take a sip of water, which you should be doing, by the way, I encourage all the water drinking. During a 55-minute one-take fucking joke of a video, I have to drink water and you have to listen. I'm not going to make you listen. I'm going to like pan away, but I'm drinking some water, right? Fucking good water, man. I have like, you know, like those like Chinese takeout fucking like if you get like a big extra large size of like egg drop soup or whatever, like you know how like they serve you your pho to go, those really tall plastic things, and you usually just throw them away and so that they can kill turtles later after you trash them. Well, I just save those bitches and then fill them up with water, and it forces me to drink like a lot more water than I otherwise would. And it's one of the reasons why I've like decreased my alcohol drinking by like 80-90%, because like I'll have a first drink and then I'll have too much water. I'm like, I don't feel like drinking alcohol anymore. It's great. And then I'll just not have it for another week. It's great. And I don't know why I'm talking about that right now, where it's just mainly because Jesus Christ. One thing I did learn when recording my newest set of videos, which I think some of you will appreciate, and actually some of you might hate, is that you see how I'm just doing this absolutely uninterrupted, long, continuous walk. You know, where occasionally I show Diamondback to show that you know, something's happening. But in reality, I'm just walking, having a full-blown conversation with my friends, straight up forgetting that there's a GoPro in my hand for half the fucking time. And so that a year later, in completely different context, when I'm just completely getting increasingly high. I took 2 gummies right now ahead of this video. And I can just kind of make shit up and get my mediocre 400 to 600 views if I'm lucky, and then I'll get my 4 subscribers from the video and just grind my way up to 1,000. Where, you know, I'll thanks to all of my profanity and viewer drop off from being fucking uninteresting, I'll get a nice, you know, like 41 cents per video. You know, I'll be crushing it, man. I mean, it's not really. I originally had hopes of getting to a large enough viewer base to where I could at least like semi-fund my coaster travels, but considering I just blew like 5 fucking G's that I might not have had all of it on a big stupid trip to the Northeast, and then I had to get fucking flash pass and everything, because you're not going to go to Hershey Park to be waiting an hour in every fucking line when you don't live there. Like, people are like, oh, it sucks to have flash pass because you have to like look the locals in the eye. I'm like, you fuckers. I live in New Orleans, where if I want to ride a local amusement attraction, I have to like fucking sit on my thumb because there is nothing, and you fuckers can just go down the street to Hershey Park and just party on a bunch of world-class rides. Y'all can suck my dick. I'm getting fast pass, and I'm gonna get into more debt doing that, and I'll figure it out later. Look at these dispatches, man. You got a train like not even through the brake run. You've got another one dispatching, and you know you've got another one loading. Like, I gotta tell you, Kings Island's operations are great. That Meteor Canteen consumption station, whatever, they have I think the last 2 times I was there, I had like a decent, like, I'm not a hot dog person, but they had like some hot dog variant that was kind of neat. I think it was like I don't know, some sausage bullshit. It was a solid 6.57 out of 10. I mean, I went there a second time, so, you know, yeah. There's a drop on an alleged open air quote giga coaster, depending on who you believe, and I'm too tired and lazy to really just make a joke about that because it's pretty old, considering nobody's talking about Orion anymore, because it's, you know, from 20, and it's now 2024. It's like, all right, old news. That thing's been there for a million years. What I do miss is walking through where we're walking right now to get the Firehawk, which I had the fortunate opportunity to do exactly once in 2018, and I do remember liking it more than Nighthawk, so that was kind of dope. But I mean, obviously, a bad capacity, aging Tacoma Flying Dutchman isn't really going to do as much for the park as a redundant B&M hyper/giga coaster with great crowd capacity that they pretend is needed when you already have Diamondback, and it probably is needed because it's a people eater, I guess, but whatever. I still find it kind of wacky that you have an amusement park where their hyper coaster is better than their giga coaster, but hey, I just visited another park where that's the case. I just went to Canada's Wonderland, and Behemoth absolutely shits on Leviathan. So is that like what's going on with B&M Gigas now? Other than Fury, it's just expect worse than your hyper. Like, that's lame. I mean, like, maybe they should work on that. But for now, Orion's, you know, still top 50, so I don't need to like freaking fuck around. Hold on, what is it? Like 47, almost out of my top 50. That is absolutely some crazy shit. But I mean, fuck, Leviathan was worse. Leviathan is only like my 65, which is kind of outrageous to only be in like what, my top like 15-16% as a giga coaster. Like, they need to do better. But one thing that does not need to do better is my little Racer baby over there. Racer fucking slaps, man. Racer, I remember when I first rode it in 2018, when I don't think like I cared, like I had an opinion who I presently don't care about as much, because my opinion came from bullshit sources, and I can disrespect my former self, you know. I'm not like trying to project on the you who might have only, you know, ridden 34 credits that you're a piece of shit or something. But like that's how I look toward myself. And I thought Racer wasn't all that great, and Blue Streak was better, and all this dumb shit. And as I rode it more in my 4 more visits to Kings Island, I slowly appreciated more, especially after that retrack work from the gods at the Gravity Group, like the roller coaster masterpiece makers. And now I just have this huge appreciation for it. It's like one of the best things at Kings Island. I don't know, like, what do I have it ranked in Kings Island for me? I have Flight of Fear over Racer. I might need to reevaluate that. You know what? No. It's because the other Flight of Fear shit is not as good. But the one at Kings Island was pretty good, and I had a pretty good memory of it. I guess it's near all the other PTCs. I have like the vast majority of PTCs ranked together because let's be real, they don't really deviate in, you know, amazingness that much, with the exception of like a couple, like Phoenix, obviously. But I mean, I have it ranked relatively good with the PTCs. Let me see what I have for racing. So yeah, I have 152 is Comet at Hershey, and then all the way down to 164 Yankee Cannonball at Canopy Lake Park. Give me credit for me. So there's like 13 of them, and I have Racer kind of near the middle after the Cannonball at Lake Winnie, Screaming Eagle, Blue Streak, and then I see now I totally still have Blue Streak over Racer, and I was sitting here making fun of my previous self for it, yet it's still the case. On that Curb Your Enthusiasm note, I'm going to go ahead and drink some water again, because I don't know what to say. I feel like an idiot. Whatever. My goodness, this unabridged walk. I'm really glad I calmed down on that. Like, one of my strategies I had, because like my original idea when I started recording my first series of videos, which this was one of them, was that I would have it to where like you would know kind of how to navigate the entire park, and then aim right down there. Well, we just look to the left, but where the Vortex's former plot, like, hey, it's not there anymore. That's fucked up. But where you could, I mean, that is right? I think it is. Whatever. I rode Vortex, and I caught a hat that flew off someone's head. So that's how I know I rode that thing once. It was great, and I give it back to him at the station. He was like, "Oh my God, you're Jesus for that." And he didn't say Jesus, but he was happy, I guess. Anyway, the gummy's hitting. Let me hit this pen to make it worse. Hey, there's Orion. Fuck yeah, man. Oh, and Razor, good dueling shot or something. I don't know. All right, so the sentence I was trying to complete like one whole minute and a half ago is that I wanted to have like an unabridged walk through every park to where people kind of knew how to navigate it just from watching this slow like mall walking tour. Slurring my fucking words. I don't know. Is that where Vortex is? Where I was peeking through the fence? I don't know. But the thing is, in parks as huge as Kings Island, it creates this insanity where it takes so fucking long to walk through everything. I knew that I had a different agenda here because of my first Kings Island video, which I'll link to at the end card. That's one of the things I learned from Magnates Media, which I've already been doing, is that you need to have like an end card loop, and then but you can't act like your video's ending. You have to like lead in like, well, if you really care about this, then you would love my Arnold's Park video. Yeah, there's no natural segue because every video is just a different park visit. So I don't know. Maybe I can't implement that. There's Diamondback, better than Orion. If you disagree, I don't care. Like, it's invalid. It's valid. I'm not, I want you to privately hold that opinion, but when I'm recording a YouTube video, I can call you a fucking asshole for offering a bad opinion that Orion is better. I'm not serious, guys. So many of you, I recorded like a video at like Valley Fair. This coaster never opens for Excalibur, and he's like, as a former ride operator of Excalibur, I assure you it opened as much as possible. It was in a flood zone. I'm like, dude, hold the brakes, dude. Like, I actually love this ride. Excalibur is like in my top, it was in my top 50 for a little bit. I love this shit. You're taking this way too seriously. I'm just some fucking loudmouth, stupid shit who is just looking at Diamondback from a year ago and just saying, I'm just saying whatever comes to my. I was about to speak in third person. I'd like to stop that. And I'm just narrating spam over Diamondback. And if you're getting riled up about that and not celebrating the fact that you're this stupid to still be watching this content that deep in to incentivize you to fucking leave a complaint about it, I mean, reevaluate your life choices. I don't know how else to fucking say it. For now, we're going to just make this video artificially longer by having the entire lift hill run and the drop. You see, I do this every time. It's technically what the viewer wants to watch. I mean, technically what the viewer wants to watch is for me to record a POV physically on the ride, but I'm not about to get ejected from these amusement parks. And I think I just need to invest in my next trip that for my 2025 road trip, whose videos I guess you'll see in 2027, I'll have some spy glasses or something. Is that how I have to record POVs? Because only SeaWorld parks have been friendly to me with my GoPro, and then like tiny little parks with like chest mounts and stuff. And I'm not trying to be just going in with a chest mount to ask for permission and spend half my day in guest services and they tell me no. And I want to record POVs for you guys, but all I can do is record walking through the parks, which I hope is at least refreshingly different. But I mean, hey, if my ad revenue eventually gets to the point where I can buy some spy glasses and show you some completely redundant, pointless POVs when you've already seen, the coaster force shit, I'll do it for you. I mean, I don't know. I mean, when I actually got the opportunity when I was at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, with the permit and everything that I recorded some of the most awful dog shit fucking POV footage of all time. And it brings LOLs on its own, so I guess there's value in that. But in reality, you wouldn't get very good stuff. So, I mean, what could I do? Well, I have what should I do, guys? Like, I have a whole series ahead with the 18 parks, which, let me try to remember the actual names. I visited 18 parks, and I want to tell you what they are because I guess I want to fill time on it. I want to fill time in this video. I'm going to go to Facebook because I'm too high to remember the parks I just fucking visited. I don't even know why I'm listing the names of these parks anyway. But yeah, so that's going to be the new series. So I'm like finishing this series like really late where this Kings Island video, like closes on and stuff. And I was going to ask, what do you guys prefer that I do? Do I, like, in the middle of these dog shit ass GoPro edits, I just rip off like a video from another coaster YouTube channel and then put it in my little merging program and then just give them credit when I talk about it? Because like, I'm so bad. I have no editing skills to the point where I can't even fucking like put an overlay of text. I have to learn how to do that. So, I'm in a tight spot. I could also just learn. But who have time for that shit? I mean, y'all aren't paying me yet. Maybe when I'm monetized, I can start caring, but it's fuck. I remember in my last coaster video that I did at Kings Island, I just kind of like breezed by and like looked at the entrance of Mystic Timbers, and I'm like, that's enough Mystic Timbers footage, because I was a bit of a Mystic Timbers hater. I was like, dude, Renegade and Prowler thunder shit on this thing. And I don't know if they thunder shit anymore, and I like Renegade less. I mean, I like Mystic Timbers more than Renegade. I still prefer Prowler. But I got, like, at the end of this day that we were recording, I got some of the same, 40-ish rank rides on Mystic Timbers that I got before, earlier in the day, but then it, like, rained and then cleared the park, and I had, like, some walk-ons with, like, a wet track and shit, and that thing was hauling like a goddamn freight train. So, is that even fast? It was hauling. It was hauling more than, it was hauling a lot. And those rides sent it up to my number, something like that. Something like that. 35 Mystic Timbers at Prowler at 34 Prowler, 35 Mystic Timbers. So yeah, that's where I stand. And apparently, like, I'm crazy for thinking that, but like, not really. My favorite wood coasters are the ones with a sense of adventure through the woods and trees and shit. And while Mystic Timbers does that, Prowler does it more. And they're essentially the same roller coaster, except Prowler's better. I enjoyed the ops there. Honestly, I thought I knew of the Mystic Timbers ops, but apparently the day that I was there, they were all on like a trip to Cedar Point or something. So they were all like different ops on Mystic Timbers. So I'm like, okay. But I mean, it seems like all of the ride operators here tend to like their jobs and tend to trend enthusiast. So, it's pretty good stuff. Ooh, a line. That's fuck. I mean, I remember that day we got so many goddamn rides. I think I got like 6 rides on that, so I don't know what I'm complaining about. Those trains, after riding this again and then riding Behemoth, I'm like, dude, every B&M Hyper and Giga should have these fucking trains. I especially love row 2, where nobody waits for it, but you're essentially still in the front row, and you get the better like air and forces and shit, to where you can just like rock on row 2 on those things and just have a lot of fun. And Diamondback, man, like, still my favorite B&M Hyper. I know that like a lot of people don't agree, and those people can get fucked, honestly. But for now, Diamondback is keeping that title. After riding Behemoth, which I loved so much but it didn't get there. So right now I have 38. I have Diamondback, 42 Mako, 43 Behemoth, and like what's left in the U.S. like Goliath at Laurent is the only thing anywhere near me that I think could even try one more time to beat Diamondback. But I know Shambhala will do it when I eventually get to Europe. But hey, I think Diamondback's sitting pretty cozy at the top of my B&M hybrids for a good little while until, another generic park builds another Candemonium looking at. I actually can't even hate on Candemonium because I was like kind of having not the greatest opinions on it after my 2020 rides, but I got some decent ones on my trip. I just went just down, not cracking top 100 though. So Candemonium lovers don't get too hard in hearing that information, especially when you're looking at an actual B&M hyper right here that ranks better and stuff. Rankings don't mean anything, but boy, do I invest a lot of time. I'm looking at my fucking spreadsheet and I have like their numbers. I have color coding for wood and steel. I had color coding for trips just on my or coasters just on my trip because I went on like a 101 of them, but not anymore. And then I have the state, the manufacturer, and the years. So like whenever, that's kind of the trick that I bet you a lot of people at Canopy Coaster and Airtime Thrills have when they make all these random top 10, 15 lists about whatever. They just have a spreadsheet like mine and they just filter it for whatever they want to talk about. It's very easy. Like I'm in a group chat with friends as we're walking to the beast. Please pay your respects to the best coaster at Kings Island. You heard me, bitches. Still best coaster at Kings Island. Number 25. Only coaster in this park in my top 25. Yeah, baby. Yeah, and I already forgot what I was talking about. I was really passionate about the topic, and I just lost it. Yeah, baby. So now that I completely forgot what I was talking about, we're headed toward the beast. And fuck. One thing I really enjoyed about not my rides in 2023, because my friends were like whining about the rain and we had to like go home and go to the hotel and stuff, which they were right, but I wanted to stay and get rained on and just get some more rides. But I remember at the closure of my 2022 rides were sick. A couple Beast night rides, and then they closed the park for the day, and then they did the fireworks or something, did the whole walkthrough. So we were in line for like almost an hour after the park closed to then get on the Beast. And that was like the most I've enjoyed waiting for a ride in my entire life. At like 11 p.m. finally getting on it where you can't see anything. And look, one thing I've learned about just enjoying things in general is it's all about your state of mind and how you perceive the experience. And for me, when I'm on the Beast, I treat myself like I'm in the 70s on the biggest, baddest coaster on earth. And I'm just crushing it, and it's just fun, and it's through the woods and all that. Fucking drunk person on a roller coaster tycoon made that layout, even though that was 20 years before the game came out. Whatever. And then other headspaces, I'll look at fucking Flying Ace aerial chase looking ass piece of shit where I got into an argument with an ex-girlfriend while riding it. So I'm forever gonna have tarnished opinions on that ride. It's just how. Thankfully, that woman didn't ruin my experience of the Beast, because my first time I was here with her in 2016, she got off crying because I didn't acknowledge that she hated it, and I had to chase her down the fucking arcade next door to like get her to calm down. So I'm glad I rewrote my fucking memories of the Beast by going and having an actual good time while Snoopy like shoves a fucking huge thing up his fucking deep throat looking ass mouth. I know it's kind of rude to be talking like that going through kiddie areas, and I want to say that I put a little more extra effort here because like I didn't film their kiddie coaster when I was here last time or something, and winning awards for best children's area. I don't give a flying fucking fuck about children's areas because I don't do the children thing, both in like being around them ever or wanting one, especially if like they grow up to need to ride Flying Ace aerial chase. That's a fucked up childhood. But is it even still called that? Didn't they rename it Kitty Hawk or some shit? Let me look up Kings Island and fucking. Is it still called that? What's it called? Snoopy Soapbox Racers is where's the Vekoma Hanging Bang? What's it called? Fucking Banshee, Flight of Fear, Great Pumpkin. No, that's the fucking coaster I was like trying to record. Woodstock Express is great. I didn't realize that Canada's Wonderland was another clone of this, so I've been on 4 of these shits. I like the Canada's Wonderland one the most. What's the name of the hanging bag? Woodstock's Air Rail? No wonder I couldn't find it. Did they just rename this a week ago? Okay, it was called Flying Ace Aerial Chase, so I'm not cunting on that. Okay. Well, it's an awful roller coaster. It's a horrendous piece of shit. Hang and absolutely bang. Anyway, oh yeah, I remember what I was doing because I just see this Facebook tab. I'm like, why is that open? So yeah, the parks I fucking visited on my trip where number 1 was Kennywood, which is coming up. So these are the videos after this like obligatory Kings Island thing that I'm just releasing just because I have to. I can't skip a park I visited. That's like blasphemous or tragic or something. So number 1 was Kennywood. Number 2 is Idlewild. 3, Dutch Wonderland. 4, Playland's Castaway Cove. And 5, Maurice Piers. Keep in mind those 4 after Kennywood were all on the same freaking day, which is crazy shit. And then park number 6 that Sunday we went to Dorney Park, and at night went to Coney Island. And I'm just going to go ahead and spoil it. I probably ranked the Coney Island Cyclone, my 400th coaster, higher than like anybody else. You think number 48 out of 1,400 for Canopy Coaster is overly high? Wait till you see where I rate mine. Yeah, I'm going to try to make y'all wait for that video to get that information. Anyway, and then park number 9 that Monday was Knoebels. Then 10 on that Tuesday was Hershey Park. 11, after I passed through Street Road, my favorite street name I've ever seen in Salem, Pennsylvania, apparently, according to this check-in. I took a picture of it, and everyone loved my picture of Street Road. I have finally reunited with my favorite stupidly named street. Yeah, and then Wednesday I went to park number 11, Great Adventure, Six Flags Great Adventure, and I'll tell you what, man, if I could like rank parks by their clientele, I'm sorry, Great Adventure would be just in last place. I mean, I'm talking if you had a convention of rowdy teenagers getting into fights, Karens, and people with zero mindfulness or tact, and then you just sprinkle a nice layer of friendliness from New Jersey into the mix. Fucking hell. And then you have to like walk like a mile, like 100 degrees. I'll be honest, if El Toro isn't at that park, I would go a solid decade without visiting Six Flags Great Adventure Day. That was a whack-ass day. El Toro was slamming. I got actual good rides on Nitro, which I hadn't before, and Front Row King Ka again was pretty great. But oh my flying fuck. That park was a fuck. Alright. Anyway, the next day, Thursday, park number 12, Six Flags New England, which I've never been to before. Yeah. Park number 13, Lake Compounds. We went to Boulder Dash on that Friday. And, so I ranked this higher than Cyclone. And I ranked this very high. And I can't wait to tell you about it, but I'm going to wait and be patient. Because I don't even know what's on the screen right now. What coaster was I just looking at? Yeah, I mean, you can see the effort. It was a wood coaster, right? I have no idea. What part of the park are we in? Let me try to figure it out. Okay, so I see Diamondback. I'll be honest, I have no idea. Anyway, let me just finish my shit. Sprite, drink Sprite, eat funnel cakes. You see, I'm still like narrating over the video. I'm just doing a horrible job. Park number 14. Scroll up. Storyland on a Saturday. And we were going to go to 4 parks that day. We were going to Funtown Splashdown. We made it to Maine. And pussy asses fucking rained. They didn't even open the park all day. So Palace Playland was fucked too. So we like settled on alright. And we just went to Kennedy Lake Park to end the day, which was lovely. That was park number 15. And then the next day, Sunday, we went to Six Flags Great Escape. And we hauled ass and made it to Six Flags Darien Lake number 17 at night, which is sick. That's a whole story on its own. And then park number 18, the final day, Monday, Canada's Wonderland. We were gonna cap it off Tuesday at Seabreeze in Niagara, but Niagara like decided to just only be open 12 hours a week, 6 hours a day on Saturday and Sunday only, in the heart of tourist season like clowns. So we had to take that off the list. Marineland we had to take off the list because they decided to not open any rides this year. Lakemont Park we had to take off the list because they decided to SBNO their coasters. Fucking Clementon Park we had to take off the list because they decided to just not open Hellcat for months, apparently, which is really sad to hear. I had to take a bunch of shit off the trip. And then I took Cedar Point off the end of the trip, which would have had Waldemere before it, because they fucked around on Top Thrill 2, so they could suck my dick on that, man. I'm not going to go to Cedar Point for a 6th time without Top Thrill 2, and especially since I'm going to have to get Fastlane Plus, so I'm not going to shoot myself having to wait in fucking 4-hour line for shit. Anyway, Canada's Wonderland was the 18th park, and at that point I was so fucking tired that I realized, like, 12 days is absolutely probably past my maximum of how long I can do a coaster trip, but like that kind of grind, especially with the big parks with that much walking. So from now on, I think I'm going to limit my trip to like 6 to 9 days, or like split them up, do 2 of them a year, rather than do this insane thing. Granted, after getting all these new credits, there's really no coaster trip I can do left in the country where I can even get like a fraction of the credits I just got on this one, because if I did like 15 new parks. But that's nice. I'll be able to go at a slower pace, bring my girlfriend who doesn't love roller coasters, and actually savor these places that I've been slamming through. Like, the scavenger hunt element is the only thing that matters. And Kings Island is a park I'll visit like every couple years for the rest of my life, because it's like, dude, it's top 3 best amusement parks in the country for me. And, you know, it's only a nice 14 hours away from New Orleans. Easy, cozy drive. You know, of course, I'm probably going to fly and have this just be bundled in with a bunch of other parks in a better part of the country than where I live. You know, where actual good parks kind of hang out and only a couple hours away from each other. You lucky fuckers living in Ohio and Pennsylvania and shit. You guys have no idea how lucky you have it. But then again, I'm traveling a lot and spending thousands and getting into debt and trying to get out of it after and stuff. So at least I have that going for me with my travels in my 30s, and I have a girlfriend who somehow supports all this shit. So I'm fortunate in that regard, but I will never stop fucking complaining about living in New Orleans, dude. As I'm looking at the Beast, which I rode like 9 times in like one day, like the best coaster at Kings Island, I just, you know, and I think I do the trick where like I close the camera like in the, oh my god, what a clusterfuck. I was trying to close this like on the shelf, like in like El Toro Orion does, like smoothly, like, alright, I'll see you on the other side of the ride, and I just got lost in like a crowd of people, and oh fuck, you know, whatever. I didn't remember that I recorded that poorly, and I honestly don't really remember anything of what I recorded. But I do know that like the last 3 times I was at Kings Island, like nothing was closed. I got on everything as many times as I wanted. I didn't even need to buy Fastlane, but you got to come to the park smart. Like, don't go on Saturday, July 4th, or this year it's Thursday, July 4th. Just don't be a clown. Like, just go on a Tuesday or Wednesday like a normal. And also I'm hearing, I've been going to like the monstrous parks only on Tuesdays and Wednesdays for a while. But I'm hearing Thursdays are pretty strong too in a lot of places, so I might need to reevaluate my trips on that. But Friday, Sunday, Saturday, you're an idiot. Like, one thing I really love about road trips is like when I go to a bunch of shit, there's always like the small like Canopy Lake Park type of stuff where you can go on a Saturday and it's no big deal. But parks like Kings Island, even though Kings Island doesn't get the kind of line Cedar Point and shit do, don't come here on a Saturday unless you work there. Or you're a local and you have all season Fastlane Plus, which I'll be honest, I have a lot of optimism about my karaoke business in the future, as I'm abandoning my other YouTube channel, which is a karaoke video YouTube channel, which has 18,000 subscribers. I'm like, you know, I'm starting to lose interest in it. Let's just focus on this 500 subscriber fucking channel where I'll get like no advertising revenue and put all my eggs in that basket instead. Yay! I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm getting so high. And let's just watch Banshee. Anyway, so I'm going to try, and you guys tell me, am I just going to name every video from now on, this video is allegedly about blah? Because I've been putting all these, like, this effort into putting some kind of, like, mildly clickbaity kind of joke title in front of every video, but you guys are clicking the allegedly series better. Well, this was supposed to close the allegedly series, because these Indiana Beach, Kings Island, Holiday World, and Kentucky Kingdom were the only parks that I revisited in full in this channel.
And everything in my new trip, even though I visited Hershey, Great Adventure, and Knoebels before, I never recorded videos in this channel because that was 2020 before I had a GoPro. So I shouldn't still call them the Allegedly series, but my friend was saying the audience doesn't lie. If they click it, you need to readjust and recalibrate your shit. So I think in the future I may or may not just have this video is allegedly about Idlewild. This video is allegedly about fucking Storyland, and I'm gonna get like a lot of thumbs down from people who are ready to hear regurgitated information about their home park that they already knew, and the only reason they're clicking a video about Storyland or Canopy Lake Park is because, hey, I'm from New Hampshire and this is all I know, and and then they click away after they thumb it down. But look, some of you do not click away after you thumb down. I mean, you stick around after you thumb down, and then you get to visit all these parks with me, and I'm just the stoner idiot friend who doesn't know how to shut the fuck up, walking with you awkwardly in alleged 4K through very old footage at Kings Island. Look, I'm gonna try to be better about this. I'm gonna try to get my Idlewild video by the end of July. Okay, it's July 3rd. I know that's not a very ambitious timeline, especially. Wait, Idlewild's not even the first video. Kennywood's is the first video. Kennywood will probably be like a 40-minute video. All right, July. I'll get it out by the end of the month, and like nobody's even pressuring me, but I gotta like keep my motivation up, because if I'm abandoning my other YouTube channel and like favoring this one instead, then I should probably stick to a schedule of, not taking 3 or 4 month breaks, especially when I have like all of this new footage to share or something. Footage that's arguable value to anybody or validity, but I mean, hey, it's a more preserved archival footage. Maybe somebody that you haven't seen in a long time is just a random person walking in this video and you're like, hey, that reminds me to say hello to Susan or something. If that's what you got out of this video, then what am I talking about? The smoke is weak. Look, we're gonna have to walk like 34 miles to the bat, so that gives me plenty of time to smoke up. And look, drink water. I'm gonna drink water for that. You need to drink water too. All right, let's take this entire last video, I just panned at the bat, and like I remember saying fuck that with my GoPro, and I just didn't record anything. I didn't record any footage of the bat because it was just so long-winded and insane to walk to the bat. And then for this one, I think long-winded was what I was trying to do, so just do the whole fucking walk to the bat. I'm gonna smoke. I'm looking up in the suggestions right above why I'm no longer a roller and coaster enthusiast from CoasterBot. Surprisingly good video, and he's like, me as a European, I'm so used to parks actually having theming. So when I visit the average American park, it's a lot harder for me to enjoy these regular roller coasters because the theming is such fucking dog shit. And like, you know what, man? I can't even fucking front. You're right. But I'll tell you what. Even though my appreciation for really themed places is going up a lot, like Silver Dollar City is one of my favorites because I think it's god tier theming and overall high quality fucking upscale park type of shit. But if you leave me, look, if Fun Spot Atlanta remains an ugly parking lot with fucking parking spaces still, like old parking spaces still painted under like dropped shitty garage sale flat rides. But if you have Air Force One and you like what, put a T-Rex next to it or something stupid like that, that's a huge tax write-off to John Airy or whatever, I'm going to visit Fun Spot Atlanta much more than I'm visiting Dollywood and shit, because they have rides there that make me go fuck yeah, So CoasterBot, love your opinion, and I'm still subscribed to your channel because you're good shit, but fuck that shit. Anyway, look, I'm looking at Bat right now, and I rode I think I've ridden all of the Aero Suspendeds that are still out. I actually would have had the chance to ride Vampire at Chessington when I lived in London, but I was like too much of a twat. Like, that's a park for families. I don't want to ride that. I'm a little bitch. So I never got to ride Vampire. I will when I go back to the UK. But anyway, Bat was my favorite of the Suspendeds. But Vortex at Canada's Wonderland, I have to give the edge, even though they're like clone layouts or whatever. Vortex just felt more thrilling to me, but dude, Bat, other than that, slaps. I mean, it was in my top 100 before this trip. That and Ninja both were. But now I'm like, yeah, man, let's crush it. So Michael's telling me, hey, man, maybe you should stop recording stupid shit. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to stop that. Maybe you should start going on more coaster trips and stop. No, I can't even be mad at the dude. Like, going on a 12-day long trip to 18 fucking parks is not recommended to like 99% of people. And even me, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Also, I'm looking at these other suggestions. I never use my coaster channel for general YouTube browsing because I have my YouTube Premium on my other account. So I'm looking at these suggestions and they're getting progressively worse. Under why I'm no longer a roller coaster enthusiast, I see a video of the Great Nor'easter at Maurice Piers, which, holy fuck, I actually really liked it. Top 100 SLC. I don't believe it. But then it gets worse. Camera rules and tips for Disney parks. Fuck Disney. Under that is famous songs that are actually covers. That's irrelevant. And then some channel smaller than mine. Our first time at Knoebels. Don't care. But then the very next one, which is what I was trying to get to. Swimmer gets disqualified from celebrating uncut from a channel called Butt Stroke. One word. Butt Stroke Swimming with 10 million views. And then the guy looks like he has like a fucking O face or something. It's a pure clickbait. And I don't think it's, and you can't even make the joke that it's like catered to me because these suggestions are completely irrelevant. The next one is the one regret from high school. You know what? Okay, whatever. Anyway, it's very random suggestions, and I don't know what I'm talking about. What other shit is on this list that's fucking terrible? I tested 1-star hotels. You know what? It's actually a little bit better because historically, since I use this channel so much, it seems like it wants me to just like reunite with my homies with like fucking 12 subscribers and stuff. And it's like recommending like day 184 vlog or something with like 12 views. And that was like half my suggestions. Now it's actually showing things with a lot of suggestions such as butt stroke swimming or whatever. So I guess I should be thankful for the algorithm getting better or something. 51 minutes. I'll be honest, I barely remember anything I talked about for the last 51 minutes. But I'll tell you what, it's very easy to do these voiceover recording things when I just don't give a perpendicular fuck about what I'm talking about. Makes it very easy. And did I really end this video on just the bat? Did I do the whole walk back? That's really lame, man. I promise, with my new fucking videos that I recorded. Actually, I never drank my water after I smoked like I said I was going to. Man, what kind of bad editing was that? Bad editing. Bad editing. Dude, I'm sorry. These gummies. Oh, I got water. I spilled water on myself. Fuck. Yeah, I'm fucked. And it's Diamondback, and it's okay. So here's the context of the closure of this. So I think you see little drizzle bits and stuff. The forecast was that I was getting fucked, and the lines were actually getting kind of bad. Like it was like 30-45 minutes for Mystic Timbers after I got my early rides, and then Michael and Lacey were like, "Fuck that, we're leaving tomorrow. I don't feel like getting rained on. I've had enough coaster stuff. Let's get some drinks in the hotel room and stuff." And I'm like, yeah, I'll meet you guys there. I'm gonna get like one more lap on Mystic Timbers. I wanna get like some footage of some guys back through the entire walk to Mystic Timbers because that's really important to me. You know, some random guys back with deer on it and hands or whatever the fuck that is. I hate it. Wow, I wish I didn't look at it. Anyway, I really wanted to do that, and I'll see you guys in like 15 minutes, and I'm such a fucking liar. I got 3 more laps on this because I got off and it was like a walk on. So how do you not get back on? And then I just did a walk around because there's not even these 8 people in front of me in line. Like, how do you not ride it a third time? And that's when I got those drizzle rain rides that I was telling you about, which made me go from not a Mystic Timbers hater, but a Mystic Timbers not like a Timbers dick sucker like you guys are, like saying, oh my god, best GCI, bullshit. It still isn't, but I got the rides you guys were talking about in the back row and shit, in front row. Dude, I mean, I loved all the rows on this shit, and that thing was hauling. And I'll tell you what's really hauling on GCIs right now. I really wanted to hate Titan Track, I really did, but on both Predator and fucking Boulder Dash, dude, it really just feels welcome in a weird way because it feels like you're launching in on a wood coaster, and then when the Titan Track ends, the launch ends, and then sends you back to your normal programming. I think that's dope. I think they should make an all Titan coaster. But on that same note, they shouldn't be corrupting all my old Woodies with Titan. But like accentuating it, it doesn't feel as blasphemous as I thought it would. But anyway, I would love to see an all Titan GCI because it's a great track. It feels great like that. And when you're tightening or something, ew. Whatever, dude. I'm fucking blazed. So we're like exiting Kings Island. Look, so this is like a solid 45 minutes after I told my friends I'd be there. And I got to give it up to them. I was expecting them to just really be mean to me. And they were chilling. They were like, hey, how you doing, buddy? You ready to go home yet? Or something, like kind of needling me a little bit, but not making me feel like a twat. And I really appreciate that, Lacey and Michael. I really do. And I appreciated my day at Kings Island, even though I didn't really talk about it at all. In the 1 hour I was here. I mean, whatever. It was my 5th visit here. Like, how many fucking different ways can I tell you that the Beast is the best coaster at this amusement park? Like, I don't know how else to do it. So, I'll see you guys back here in a couple of years when I make an even more irrelevant video about Kings Island.